What has the start of spring practice been like for you so far? Obviously, when you were here before, you had a very different role.
Yep, it's been awesome. I feel very fortunate to be back here, and the way people have treated me, can't thank them enough. And the fact that I'm working with a great group of players that are extremely motivated has made this a super experience.
Where do you see that motivation? Where does that stand out to you?
I don't know. I think a lot of it's intrinsic. We got a lot of self-starters, a lot of self-motivated guys. We have some good leadership, even though we lost, especially at the tight end position, we lost some guys, but we have some guys that have played a lot of football. Mm-hmm. And I think we have that not just at that position, but at the quarterback position, the running back position, the O-line position, where there's some really good senior leadership of not just talking about it, being about it, showing the right way to do it. And so that's been contagious. I think it's rubbed off on the rest of our offense.
What were your first impressions of Burnett, the transfer from Arizona?
Just what I knew I loved his tape, but just when you get to meet him in person, what an amazing guy. Goes out of his way to prepare. I mean, tries to do everything right. And then, seeing him move around and the way he attacks the football, the way he blocks, it's everything we thought we were going to get and maybe some more. So, yeah, very excited with what he's done so far.
With Deshaun Henniker, does he look back to 100%?
He does, yeah. He's taking every single rep, going 100 miles an hour. Had a great day today. He's been making a lot of plays, and we're moving him around a lot, and he's done a great job.
A couple of coaches so far have talked about his potential as a leader. I mean, how do you see him from like a personality standpoint and in that respect? Yeah,
definitely leads by example. He lives in this building. Everything he does, he does it with a strain and a purpose to get better. When he's in meetings, he's super engaged. When he's in the weight room, he tries to lead by example and compete with other players. And so that's rubbed off not just on the tight end position, but other positions as well.
We've heard about Leighton Kieran, the work he's put in the weight room. Just what sort of growth have you seen from him as spring's gone?
Yeah, so I watched him on tape. I had limited tape last year, but he did some good things. He did a really good job in the run game. We didn't get him a lot of footballs, but he's shown, like today especially, we threw the ball a little bit more to tight ends and shown he can be a vertical threat, shown that he's physical. So we're able to do a lot of things with him in particular that's going to make our offense better.
And I know you have a helping hand in the offense. What's it been like watching the quarterbacks without Jalen Daniels?
Yeah, I mean, just very impressed. I think those guys, that's where it starts as far as the way they come out to prepare each day. They made a ton of plays. One of the reasons that we're able to do a lot this spring is because of what they did in the offseason. They kind of led our player workouts and our installs. They installed stuff because with NCAA rules, we were limited on what coaches could do. And it's like we're coaching an experienced group because of the way our quarterbacks have prepared them. So yeah, people see what the plays they make when they watch practice or watch them in a game, but it's what they're doing behind the scenes is making our offense go.
When you have Jalen, you've obviously helped put in an offense prior years. Can those guys do everything he can in the offense that you want?
No question. I love our skill set quarterback. I mean, we got three guys that are making plays, that can run the football, can make fast decisions and make all the throws. So yeah, we feel very fortunate where we don't have to change a game plan or manipulate things because a certain guy can't do this. And then mentally, all those guys, even our young guys, they know the playbook. So we're able to not slow down a beat, when you have a guy out.
Going back to Kean, when you watched his tape at Arizona, what were some of the things you really liked about what he showed, and how do you feel like he would translate to what you guys want to do with the position?
Yeah, you can just do a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, we like at the tight end position, we want you to be an athlete first, and so he shows great athleticism, making plays in space, attacks the ball in the air, but at the same time, he does a good job when he was attached, being point of attack, and blocking in space. He has a really good feel for that, and so Yeah, I mean, he can help us both in the run game and the pass game, and that's the first thing we looked at, and he's doing it since he's been here.
You guys also have an experienced group at the top, but also some young guys that are developing. What's kind of the next step for the group like Jaden, Quentin, Carson, guys like that?
Yeah, just trying to get better each day, one step at a time, because it is a process. The first time those guys are taking reps, and sometimes the only way you get better is taking reps. Learning from the guys that are taking the reps when you're not in there, and really embracing the fact that it's a process, and that part of the process is just giving your best in the moment. And giving your best in the moment might be paying attention to meeting, might be in the weight room, and it's really everything that you can do. And it doesn't just happen overnight, and it's just a step by step, trying to really focus on daily improvement and being in a constant state of improvement to get better.
You guys really had a very run game at in Nevada. How does that help open things up for your running back, a guy like Daniel Highshaw, when the quarterback can do so many different things?
It really helps you in the run game account for the extra guy, because you can read somebody. And so someone always has to account for the quarterback, so that's one less guy you get a block. And so that helps right there, and then a lot of our run game is based on reads, where it's not a good look, for the running back, the quarterback's keeping it, so it helps the running back, not run into where there's an extra blocker. And then I also like the fact that our quarterbacks intellectually can handle identifying a defensive front and checking the play to get us in the best look to help out a Daniel Highshaw.
With the tight ends, this has been an offense over the years that has used a lot of them and lined them up in a lot of different places. What's the process been of trying to figure out who from your group can slot in where in that area?
Yeah, that's a good question. We're just trying guys. We're throwing basically the whole thing at them, and we're trying guys in different spots and really just evaluating. And it's a daily process, and we're kind of learning that as we go. We'll have it figured out by game time. Who's the most efficient, who does this the best. And the thing I feel pretty comfortable about, I think we're gonna have some depth at that position, where we'll be able to play multiple guys that can do different things.
With Haneke, you said he was 100%, but what's impressed you about him so far?
Well, the leadership, which someone brought up here,
Yeah.
What he's done going into here, he's been the leader of our room, how he coaches others, and then how he tries to do everything good, whether it's point of attack in the run game, he takes a lot of pride in that, and he's harder on himself than I could ever be, and he's a perfectionist, and so he's practicing it. He knows to play at an elite level, you gotta practice at an elite level, and that's rubbing off on the rest of our guys.
Matt, the first couple of years you were here, I know you've talked about being happy to be back and welcome back and all that. First couple of years you were here, part of building this thing up, and you go away. Sometimes you go away and come back to a place and it's different, feels different. Were there ways that this feels the same to you or feels different to you, or how did you kind of evaluate that when you got back here?
Yeah, I've noticed, just being gone for whatever it was it 2.5 years, I lose track of time, but just we're bigger, faster, and stronger, and the length. And so it's the talent level was the biggest thing that jumped out at me coming back here, even though we have lost some players. But I think through recruiting and then our strength and conditioning staff has done in the off season, that's been the biggest thing.
Sure.
The familiarity of just being around good people that treat everyone good and make everyone feel at home. Has not changed. I was here when I was here before, and it's the same thing here. So, but yeah, the biggest thing that's jumped out at me is the athleticism of our football team.
Yeah. Has the tight end room changed in terms of you guys being able to get more vertical, having guys, who have more speed to kind of test that seam?
I think so. Yeah, we're still figuring that out. I mean, we've got a lot of length in that room. We got guys that can run. So I'll be able to answer that more by the end of the spring. But I like what I see, and we do. To your point, I think we're probably taller than we've been in the past, and I don't know. I know we've had some guys that can run here in the past, but I think our guys are pretty athletic. I would argue we might be more athletic, but we still got to prove that.
Anything else for Coach Lubick? All right.